Welcome back to another episode of the Get Back Coach, presented by Apollo Media. Jay, another week. We were just talking before. Week 10 is upon us. It flies by, man.
It is crazy how fast the season goes. There's never enough time. That's why I'm so glad we have the midweek games now that we'll talk about a little bit later, previewing some. But this college football season never lasts long enough. I look up, I blink, and all of a sudden we're more than halfway through the regular season, getting into the closing stages. Just 1 month left of regular season college football remains.
Yeah. And Jay, who are we brought to you by?
Yeah, before we get into this show, folks, we are so proud to be partnered with BattleBets. And if you're asking what is BattleBets, BattleBets is a fantasy gambling app specifically for college football. That means no real money, so you don't have to worry about getting Chauncey Billups or Terry Rozier. Yeah, it's no real money, 100% legal, no matter where you are. And it's specifically for college football. So you can take a look at the games, place some bets, props, spreads, over-unders, money line, whatever you want to do. Track how you do over the course of the season, join leagues, and again, 100% free to play. Just let them know that we sent you by selecting the Get Back Coach as your ambassador in the refer section. There's prizes in the community league, so get in, join BattleBets. It's a fun, great, 100% free way to prove your ball knowledge.
Yeah, and I truly believe that this is going to be the future in fantasy sports for college football. Yeah. Where we don't really see too much like fantasy leagues starting up. And I think what BattleBets is doing, I think that is going to be the future for actual leagues or people who want to play fantasy football or fantasy gambling with college football.
And again, 100% free.
Yeah,
so
100% free.
You're risking nothing and you could win something. So give it a shot. Tell them we sent you.
Yeah. All right. So we have to start with Mr. Brian Kelly. Brian Kelly fired at LSU. He was 34-14, 19-10 in conference, and Jay, 297 and 109 all time. He was the active winningest coach in college football. Do you know who that belongs to now?
Oh, I would guess Kirby Smart.
Nope. No. Don't think of Power 5. Think of
okay.
Well, he just got a Power 5 job, but Casey Keeler.
Casey Keeler is the winningest coach in college football.
Winningest coach in college football, and they sent out that graphic today, and it's almost like, what a way to learn that Brian Kelly has been fired. If you're looking like, that doesn't look right. He can't be. But before we talk about this, also another thing that just by looking at some stats here of Brian Kelly and his tenure, not just at LSU, but Notre Dame as well, he would have had over 300 wins if Notre Dame didn't have to confiscate or vacate, I think, 21 wins in like 2013 and 2012, which, by the way, I guess a couple players were cheating on tests. I know cheating on tests is bad, Jay. Bad. I don't condone it. But giving up an undefeated regular season and I think like a 9-win season, I think is setting an example when you very well know stuff like that is happening all across the country.
Yeah, just can't get caught.
Can't get caught. I think that's utterly insane that they had to vacate wins there. But anyway, back to Brian Kelly. I mean, we all kind of saw this coming? Kind of?
Yeah, I mean, this from the start, we said that this was a weird cultural fit. The other piece of it is, and we talked about this, Jake, probably ad nauseum. When you are likable as a coach, that buys you extra time, right? People just give you a little extra chances here and there to kind of right the ship. It feels like as soon as Jaden Daniels left, LSU has just been looking for a reason to get rid of Brian Kelly.
Mhm.
Uh, and like it's still not a bad LSU team by any stretch of the imagination.
Now they're
Uh,
5-3.
but they were done with him. They were done with him in Death Valley. Nobody believed in him at LSU anymore. And frankly, I think this was a good decision by LSU to move on.
I I think it is just because LSU may have needed some new life. However, the coaching carousel right now is so insane. But if you're LSU, LSU's the best job available, right?
LSU, in my opinion, is the best job
Yeah.
available. It's the lone Power Five school in its state, a state
Yep.
that constantly produces top talent and is close enough to other states that produce a lot of talent. Uh, they have a history of winning, like Les Miles and Ed Orgeron both won championships there.
Mhm.
It's actually kind of surprising that Brian Kelly wasn't able to win a championship there with that
Yeah.
in mind. Uh, Whoever goes in there is going to be able to recruit no matter what. Like even if they're not really a recruiter, LSU just sells itself.
Yeah.
I think it's far and away the best job open right now. Maybe not far and away. Maybe that's a little bit of hyperbole, but I think it's a pretty clear number one.
I, I think it's also a clear number one. I just think it has more money than Florida. Am I right? I mean, you're my Southern guy. Like, I think they
Well,
have more
I don't
money
know
than
if they
Florida.
necessarily have more money than Florida. I think it's probably pretty comparable, but Florida has Miami and Florida State in state.
Right. And LSU doesn't. And every player, again, a hotbed, a recruiting hotbed. Every high school athlete in Louisiana wants to play at LSU. And I think that's also a huge thing as well. You have probably the best atmosphere in college football, especially at night. You have rabid fans. You have money. Um, you you've won 3 national titles in the last 20 years with 3 different coaches. So or 22 years? I forget when Saban won. Saban won in what? 03?
2003.
Almost 2 decades. Okay, over a little over 2 decades. You've won with 3 different coaches. Um I think this is the best job available. And everyone else, every other job, aka my Lions, has to look at this as a loss. Penn State lost the bye week because now a job more lucrative than yours is now open. So yeah, I think LSU is going to get who LSU wants in this recruiting cycle. And here's the thing: Brian Kelly wasn't awful as a coach. He's not awful, like, but I think LSU had some big time expectations coming into this year, and to see it crumble like this, and again, not even crumble, like they're probably going to go 8-4, which is but it's not bad. I just think LSU knows that they're going to get the best. They're going to get their guy no matter what. So make it happen now.
Yeah, and the other piece of it is I do think ultimately Brian Kelly left LSU in a better place than Ed Orgeron did when he left. I
That's
think that
true.
it's a little more organized, a little more stabilized.
Mhm.
Yeah, the vibes were rancid in Baton Rouge. I mean, you heard the fire Brian Kelly chants on the broadcast of their game last week.
Mhm.
Uh, that stadium emptied out in a hurry. It didn't feel like LSU of old. They needed to change something up, and frankly, I think most of LSU fans are pretty happy that he's gone.
And I'm looking across college football, like a lot of these coaches that have been fired. Do ec- do expectations kill like do expectations kill coaches? Like if LSU, and again, LSU isn't like a rebuild school. Like, you don't rebuild at FSU. Like, your rebuild is 9-3. But like, looking at some of these jobs that are opened, it's like, if the expectations weren't there, they probably still have a job. Or is that like a totally obvious thing to say?
No, but I think it depends on where they are, and again, what we talked about with how likable a guy is, how much he
Yeah.
fits with the culture of the program. Uh, I think expectations hurt, right? Like, Jimbo Fisher, for example, being brought into A&M, expected to win a championship, never lived up to that. I do think the expectations hurt him there. And then you look at somebody like Kurt Signetti, where he's at Indiana, where there really haven't ever been expectations, and you see
Mhm.
what he's able to do. Maybe not having that pressure behind you frees up guys a little bit, but I just think there's so many factors that go into it. The expectations definitely play a role. I just don't think it's the be all end all of why
Yeah.
coaches are being fired so quickly.
Yeah.
Look at it. Look at another place, right? We did not think Brian Kelly would outlast Luke Fickell.
No. No.
Like you compare the records
Mhm.
and what has happened at Wisconsin. We thought Luke Fickell was gone probably 3-4 weeks ago.
Mhm.
He's still coaching in Madison. Brian Kelly's gone. You have to think part of that is, first of all, how crazy the cycle is going to get, right? Like,
Mhm.
I wonder if some coach or some programs who are ready to move on maybe pull back now.
Mhm.
Maybe some guys get to last a little bit longer. But also you look at just, I think cultural fit and likability are a big reason why you see coaches turnover faster than expected too.
Yeah. Um, absolutely. Like we say it all the time. You can either be really good or an ass, or sorry, you can be bad or an asshole. You can't be both. You can't lose games and be an ass. Like you can't. And I think that Brian Kelly's just unlikability
Yeah,
is also
unlikability.
unlikability has also kind of driven this, which I think which that leads into um, the game on Saturday. Jay, you have to be very excited right now.
Yeah, so for the first time since 1994, Texas A&M has won a game in Death Valley. They beat Baton Rouge. They're 8-0 for the first time since 1992. Uh, I mean, wasn't a great first half for A&M. They go into the halftime locker room trailing 18-14. Marcel Reed had thrown 2 interceptions.
Mm,
You had a blocked punt. That is a series of events there in the second quarter so disastrous that previous versions of A&M would have cratered. I think that's what makes this team so special. They respond to adversity. They answer the blocked punt with a punt return touchdown.
mm,
Marcel Reed answers the interceptions with an incredible half of football. A&M goes out there and just absolutely crushes the Tigers in the second half. It's not even close. I think 35-7 was the point differential in the second half, and that 7 came in garbage time when A&M had pulled their starters
yeah,
on defense. Cassius Howe just absolutely dominating the LSU offensive line. Uh, I mean, it was just an impressive performance and a statement win for A&M in a place where it is notoriously difficult to win at night. And part of that is the Brian Kelly situation, but part of that is I think this A&M team is just special.
yeah. Like you said, kind of a sloppy first half for Texas A&M. I think Reed is the most dangerous quarterback with his legs. Like I think his leg, I think he's up there at least. Like he made a couple real nice cuts, big long runs. I mean, when he gets out in space, I don't know if there's anyone more dangerous. Speaking of dangerous, Casey Concepcion in the return game on special teams is just, I mean, absolute weapon. Um, and we spoke before about Brian Kelly being unlikable. Brian Kelly in these spots gets into what I like to say, look at me, it's not me, or look, it's not me, where he's just ripping people, like just yelling and screaming, and just whoever is close is going to get an earful and I feel like not all the time, because I feel like there is a strong difference between a player that needs to get chewed out. Like sometimes you need to get chewed out.
Yeah.
Sometimes like you need to be coached hard. But sometimes I think coaches like Brian Kelly get this things are happening. Things are happening. We're sinking, and I have to protect my image of, see, it's not me. And I absolutely hate it. Like I said, I am all in for tough coaching. I think you have to be. I think players deserve to be chewed out every once in a while. But I feel like Brian Kelly always blows a gasket like this when he's trying to save his job or trying to prove, look, it's not my fault.
There was a interview. I think they were talking to Mac Brown about coaching, and he brought up when he was an offensive coordinator at Oklahoma under, I believe, Barry Switzer at the time, that his offense was not doing well. Bunch of young cats that were struggling. They'd lost their quarterback. They had a true freshman in. I believe that freshman was Aikman, by the way. And he is just lighting them up in the halftime at the locker room. And, Barry Switzer comes over at one point and is like, hey, those guys have already been beaten down. Sometimes you got to lift the guys up. And I think that's an area of the game that I don't see from Brian Kelly. I think it's like, and obviously we don't know what goes on behind closed doors, right? Like on the sideline and the locker room can be completely different. But sometimes guys need to be, lifted up. And when you're in the darkest parts of your football careers, like if you're going through a really, really hard time, sometimes the last thing you need is somebody just chewing your head off.
Yeah.
Right. And like you said, like sometimes you do need to be chewed out. Sometimes you need to get yelled at a little bit. But there are times, and what makes great coaches is knowing who they're dealing with, knowing the best way to coach them, and knowing the best way to coach them in certain circumstances. And it really does feel like Brian Kelly had a tendency to throw his guys under the bus. And ultimately, that's not a coach you want to play for.
No, I hate that. And the other thing, Jay, and you talked about locker room. If you want to light them up in a locker room, or if you want to light them up in practice or in the film room or the meeting room behind closed doors, go for it. Absolutely go for it. But I feel like doing it on the sideline, the times he has, I feel like is kind of a little bush league. And it's, again, try to deter blame. And I don't think there has ever been a coach that has thrown his players under the bus more than Brian Kelly.
Yeah.
Like he throws them under the bus every chance he gets, or to try and save himself. And again, behind closed doors, light them up. But I hate when coaches do that on the sideline in front of everybody, trying to embarrass somebody.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that Coach Sumlin said at A&M, right? And I may be peeling back the curtain here a little bit, so I don't think he'll be mad at me about this, but he said that it was his job to protect us from the media at times. To whenever people are ready to throw tomatoes at you, whenever people are ready to boo you, when the media is asking really hard questions about boneheaded plays, it's the job of the coach to kind of protect the player from the media a little bit. That's another piece that I just never saw from Brian Kelly. Like I feel like that is a guy that I would not want to play for myself.
Yeah.
And I think it showed.
And I think as we go into this next stage of college football, I think a lot of players are going to say, why am I going to want to play for him when I can still get coached hard, but not be embarrassed when I'm having a bad game somewhere else, So, yeah, Brian Kelly officially done at LSU. A&M huge win, 49-25. Does Brian Kelly coach again, Jay?
Brian Kelly will coach again. I mean, as much as bad as I've said about him here, he is still, I think, a pretty solid football mind. I think there's some stubbornness to him, but most coaches do have that about him. I think he'll find a job somewhere. Where? I don't know, but I think he finds a job somewhere.
Yeah. Moving on, Alabama survives a scare, beats South Carolina in overtime. Or no, not in overtime.
It
Not in
was
overtime.
it
It was
wasn't
overtime.
overtime.
It was
Yeah,
overtime. 29-22.
yeah.
Really unfortunate pick six by Sellers early. Um,
No, it wasn't an
Jay,
overtime. It wasn't an
it was
overtime
not an
because
overtime.
they
It wasn't an overtime.
recovered the fumble. South Carolina let them score to have a chance.
Yeah. There were so many games that did go into overtime that now I'm
Yeah,
picturing other
we
games that
watch
didn't
a
go
lot of
into overtime.
football.
They're all blending. All these reds, all these teams in red are just blending together here. Mississippi State, um, everyone else. Anyway, I think the key to that game, South Carolina having a hard time in the red and maroon zone. Could not turn 3 into 6. I think that was an X factor. Also, Nick Harbor had a huge touchdown. Other than that, though, that was it. They let up. Nick Harbor only had one big play, and other than that, Alabama kind of shut him down. Listen, Willie B, games like that, Willie B is rocking. Alabama answers the call. Man, Kalen DeBoer, man, winning again. I think he's winning. I think he's winning over those Tide fans for now.
Yeah, and this offense is really fun to watch. Ty Simpson, still a heck of a ball player. It's going to be interesting to see. I mean, that's part of playing in one of these power conferences like the Big Ten or the SEC. A lot of these teams have a ton of talent on those rosters. They just may not be delivering it. So there's no easy weeks. There's no easy weeks in power conference football. Ultimately, you got to survive, and Alabama survived against South Carolina. Still some very dangerous players like Nick Harbor, like Lenore Sellers on that team. I just think South Carolina is missing a lot of pieces in the trenches, and that's why they're not having success in that red or maroon zone, like you talk about. They're just it's a struggle to finish off drives, and that's the difference ultimately, and why Alabama was able to take the lead in the fourth quarter and put South Carolina away.
Yeah. I mean, terrible, absolutely unfortunate late turnover by South Carolina. Simpson delivers again, and then Jeremy Bernard, huge 25-yard run, beautiful run towards the end of that ball game. Jay, Lane Kiffin, the Lane train is moving. Ole Miss beats Oklahoma 34-26 in Norman. Wet game early, wet game, a little sloppy. Kiffin got lucky in the second or in the first half.
Yeah.
Went for it deep in his own territory. 3 points. Oklahoma gets 3 points off of it. I feel like Ole Miss secondary was really caught sleeping, and I think that is something to watch with this team in the future.
I think it's something that, and sorry to interrupt you here. I think it's
you're fine.
a problem that Ole Miss has, right? To just it's not just the secondary. I think it's every piece of that football team has momentary lapses that lead to them having issues. I think it's just a symptom of Lane Kiffin coach teams. I think this is not something that's exclusive to his time at Ole Miss, but I think we see it quite a bit. They are very, very good teams. They have a lot of talent. A lot of times they scheme up some really, really great stuff. But they also have a tendency to kind of take their foot off the gas or kind of drift a little bit in responsibilities. The secondary, I think, is where it's most obvious.
Yeah, and I think that's what kept them out of the playoff last year. That game to Kentucky, which I believe was Kentucky's only SEC win in 2 years.
I believe so, because they haven't won one yet this year.
They haven't won one this year. I think their only SEC win last year was against Ole Miss, and that kept them out of the playoff. So, again, Lane Kiffin's doing really well right now, but they are dodging landmines. Like, this is a very good team. Ole Miss is very good, but I feel like they're dodging landmines of like, okay, you fall asleep in the middle late. Oh, but we're gonna pull it out. Where we give up a giant bomb for a touchdown. Oh, and we're gonna recover. Yeah. We go for it in our own territory, and we don't get it. We just force them to kick a field goal. but
Of course,
they,
it does help when you have a guy like Trinidad Chambliss throwing the ball.
yeah,
By the
300,
way,
another
I
300
talk
yards.
about scheme and some of the
Yeah.
interesting things that Lane Kiffin does. I can't for the life of me figured out what he was doing with Austin Simmons, bringing him into that game in the red zone. Like I don't know if that's just
No,
like trying to keep him engaged,
I
but
have
there's
no idea.
no reason, zero reason
Mm-mm.
to go away from Trinidad Chambliss.
No.
Zero.
Mm-mm. No, I have no idea. No idea what they're thinking there. Um, here's another thing I want to talk about. John Mateer is, I think he's still trying to get back to that guy we saw earlier in the year. He's not bad, but he's just not the
He's not
same guy.
100%. Yeah.
No, he's
Nah,
not.
nah.
It's like he's trying to find his footing, and then he's going sidearm, and he's like looks off balance. I don't know. Mateer's still trying to find it, and I don't think Oklahoma's not going to be the same until he figures it out.
Yeah. They also had some struggles on the offensive line. I don't think they're
Mhm.
protecting him quite as well as they were earlier in the year.
No.
The defense still very good. And I know they give up 34 points to Ole Miss. This is a good Ole Miss offense. I still think that defense is going to carry them in a lot of games here in the back half of the season, which is a tough schedule for OU, by the way. But yeah, they got to figure out how to get some of that confidence back in Mateer. Going to the other side of the Red River Shootout, Texas narrowly escaping Starkville with a win 45-38. They were down, I believe, 38-21 in the fourth quarter. So 17-point
Mhm.
comeback.
Yep.
I mean, Mississippi State this year, just the Florida game. You
Mhm.
had the Tennessee game, and now this. Just not able to put people away. And meanwhile, Texas still very much alive in the SEC hunt.
Yeah, Texas is still alive, even though they haven't been really playing well. Mississippi State, Jay. Here's the thing: they're 4-4. They're 0-4 in SEC play. This team is better than they were a year ago. And I'm not big Jeff Lebby guy. I don't think either of us are because of his relationship with a certain artist.
Jesus, all
Uh,
right.
uh, um.
Yes,
Anyway,
correct.
yeah, but this team is better. This team is better, but man, 17 unanswered. The 79-yard punt return has to be an absolute killer, especially because Arch Manning and the Texas offense has been kind of struggling.
Yeah.
And you were going to pin them deep. Absolute killer.
And the other piece of it is just Mississippi State not really running the clock out like they could have to kind of keep Texas involved in this. You know, you really, I feel like you could have run the clock down a little bit better. That's part of why you struggle to put this game away. The other side of it is, I mean, credit to Texas for fighting, right? Like they were by all, you know, by all standards, it looked like they were dead and buried.
Yep.
But they come back, they fight through it. Arch Manning does take a ding in overtime. I think he is in concussion protocol. It was what I saw earlier today. So it'll be something to monitor moving forward for the Longhorns. But yeah, this is again, like we talked about with Alabama surviving South Carolina. It's about survival in these Power 5 leagues. So Texas survives.
Yep. Vandy, big win, 17-10 in front of game day. Mizzou has a Hail Mary attempt that is a yard short. They call it incomplete, and then they reverse it to a catch, but say he was down at the 1. Awful. Just an awful way to lose. Also, this was a defensive battle. Bo Prabula is probably done for the year. He got dinged up in the third quarter. Zollers takes over duties. Looked okay. The new guy, freshman looked okay, but just coming up short. And here's the other thing, Jay. Mizzou leaves 10 points on the field. Okay, missed the field goal. They go for it on first and goal, don't get in. They fumble in the red zone. Like, there are points that Mizzou left on the field, and Vandy comes out with a huge win. Diego Pavia is just so elusive. Very fun to watch.
Yeah. Pavia is one of my favorite players to watch in college football. I think a lot of people share that. Mizzou's still a very, very good football team. Vandy obviously is the real deal as well. We'll be interested to see how both of these teams finish up. I believe Vanderbilt has Texas here in the coming weeks. Missouri in 2 weeks will have A&M. So still a lot left to play for both of these teams. But yeah, this was a defensive battle for most of it. Like you said, Vandy coming up huge in the goal line. Give credit to that defense as well for their performance. Hope Bo Pabula heals up soon. Was a nasty, nasty injury. One of those that I don't advise you to look up. He gets carted off, and it'll be interesting to see what Zollers does here. See how that shakes up the season. Obviously, still a great running back in Ahmad Hardy there for Mizzou. For Vandy now, I mean, I feel like they're solidly in the playoff hunt.
They are. No, they absolutely are. Listen, was it 2-3 years ago? Clark Leah, I think it was 3 years ago, goes into SEC Media Day and says, we're going to win a national championship here. We're going to contend for SEC championships. And we all laughed. And we are like, hey, man, good for the confidence sounds great. And, man, they're in it, man. They are absolutely in it. Good for them. Jay, the Group of 5 game. Memphis beats South Florida. They avenged their loss from last week, 34-31. 1,000 yards of offense with both of these teams. Combined 1,000 yards of offense. Here's the thing, Jay. Byron Brown was so good. And this is why. He is so dangerous that all second-level players are a tick too slow getting to their run fits because they are so worried about where he's going to tuck the ball. And I think that's why Davenport for USF was able to kind of find some creases, because all those linebackers or safeties running running the hill, run the alley, are all a tick too slow, because they're just waiting to see, okay, where's Byron Brown go? He has them scared. But the real story here, okay, Brendan Lewis and Memphis come back, huge win, and they have the tiebreaker now with South Florida. So if these two teams have the same record in conference, Memphis has the tiebreaker. I think that is huge and really detrimental to South Florida, who was really looking to be the Group of 5 representative in the playoff.
Yeah, still a lot left to decide in the American. You have Tulane, Navy, North Texas still isn't out of it in the American. So a lot of good teams floating around at the top of that conference. But yeah, this is a massive, massive win for Memphis. Really interested to see how they keep that momentum up for the rest of the season. I think USF bounces back. It felt like they had this game in hand and then let Memphis back into it. Obviously, Memphis needed a little bit of a comeback. But two really, really good football teams. I mean, I really can't wait to see how this American Conference shakes out. This is
it's awesome.
This is some of the best football going right now. Tune into these games if you get a chance.
Oh, you have to. By the way, Jay, that game, huge quarterback duel, not just through the air, but through the legs. Both quarterbacks leading passers, but also leading rushers in that ball game. Jay, let's go to scores from other games here. On Tuesday, Western Kentucky beats Louisiana Tech in overtime. Hilltoppers go for 2 for the win. Big one there. Wednesday, Missouri State beats New Mexico State in overtime, 24-17. Again, loads of overtime games this week. Jay, this one, I hope you caught some of this one. Virginia Tech beats Cal in double OT. Awesome back and forth game.
Yeah. So we were playing Risk on Friday night and watching Virginia Tech Cal and North Texas Charlotte. So I did get to keep this one. Absolute classic of a game. It's ACC after dark.
I know it's great. It's great. The ACC after dark. Um, Iowa rolls Minnesota for the Floyd of Rosedale. Iowa special teams just continues to be absolutely incredible. I mean, it is. I mean, I we know special teams is kind of the forgotten side of the ball,
3 phases
but
of the game, Jake.
there are 3 phases, and Iowa, kind of the forgotten team sometimes in the Big Ten, they are so good on special teams.
And they're 6
Like,
and 2 now,
they're
right? They only have
scary.
2 losses.
They are. They are. They're
I
6
mean,
and 2.
keep an eye. Keep an eye out.
Keep an eye on the
One
Hawkeyes.
Big Ten
Listen,
loss.
I say it every year. It does not matter how good you are, you have to come to play against Iowa. You have to. They're too disciplined. They're too good on special teams. They're too good defensively in the front seven. They are going to make you earn it. And if you out athlete them, you out athlete them, and they live with it. But they're going to make you earn that. And I think that's just what Iowa always is.
Yep. North Texas, by the way, that we just mentioned, they thrashed Charlotte, but it wasn't as much of a thrashing as it looks like, because this was a
Yeah.
close game in the third. They were down 20-17, and then they just go off. Drew Mestemaker, again, a guy that did not start a game as a varsity quarterback, throws for 608 yards.
Mhm.
I mean, wild stuff.
Incredible. I got a text on, was this Friday?
Friday.
This is Friday. I got a text, was just like, wow, like North Dakota State's in a North Dakota State. North Texas is in an absolute dogfight with Charlotte, and then immediately got like a never mind. This is gonna be a blowout. Just absolutely incredible. 27-20 with 13 minutes and 57 seconds to go. So 14 minutes. This was a 7-point game.
Yeah.
But Drew Mestemaker, what Power 5 team is going to get Drew Mestemaker?
What Power 5 team is going to get Eric Morris?
Oh, also true.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
because that could be.
But yes, that could be what happens here. Also, Jay, did you see Drew Mestemaker didn't start a game in high school?
That's what I said. He never started a varsity game at quarterback.
Never started a varsity game
at quarterback. I think he did play something else.
I was looking up that text when you were talking. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good.
You're good. Insane.
It's one of the great stories in sports. I believe Sam Kahn wrote about it. Just super cool to see.
Yeah. Oregon struggles with Wisconsin. Did Oregon, they a little sluggish?
Maybe they took the Grateful Dead shirt a little bit too literally.
I knew it. You beat me to it. I was setting up for that joke.
Yes.
I was setting up for it. Yeah, maybe that's why they were sluggish.
I mean,
coming out of the tunnel. BYU stays undefeated, beats Iowa State. I totally whiffed on that. I saw Iowa State up early, and I was like, "Ooh, I think I got one there." Now BYU comes out. Iowa State's banged up. They're not the same team they were earlier in the year. And BYU's good.
BYU's good.
You know, BYU is good. They're going to be a fun team to watch down the stretch.
UVA going to overtime again. This time against North Carolina. What do you think of the decision to go for the win?
I like it. What do you have to lose?
Yeah, 100%.
Go for it. Why? Why not? Go for it. You don't get it. At least they gave North Carolina something to play for. I mean, something exciting happened. You're on the losing end of it, but something exciting happened. Michigan keeps Paul Bunyan after beating Michigan State 31-20. I had the under here, did not hit. Yeah, Michigan seemed like they were in control this one from the start.
Yeah, and Michigan State kind of hangs around, but never really a threat. No. I tell you one game that the under did hit in. That's Wake Forest beating SMU 13-12. That's the first ACC loss for the Mustangs. Hey, Wake Forest is 5-2.
The quietest 5-2 you have ever heard.
I think we both probably had them picked to finish at the bottom of this conference in 2025. What a job by Dickert. I mean, this is
I know.
super impressive. 5-2. You have the loss to NC State, which hasn't aged that great.
No.
But the loss to Virginia certainly didn't feel bad.
No, loss to Virginia isn't bad. I mean, you beat Virginia Tech, Oregon State handedly, and this SMU win,
The
that's
Kennesaw State
huge for
win's
you.
kind of aging well too.
Yes, the Kennesaw State win. Here's the thing with Wake Forest. You still got to play Florida State. You still got to play Florida State. You got to play Virginia.
Oh, sorry.
North
Who's the other
North
loss we have?
Carolina, Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech. Sorry, not
But
Virginia.
by one,
Yeah.
one. But yeah, you got to play Virginia, Florida State, Virginia, North Carolina, Delaware, and then Duke to end the year. Wake Forest is going bowling, folks.
They should win one of those games.
They should. I mean, Delaware is sneaky, but I think they should beat Delaware. They should beat North Carolina.
What is it? North Carolina. It's got to be somebody else. It can't be North Carolina. Are they playing North Carolina twice? Oh, never mind. They haven't played them.
No.
Sorry, I got my UVA and Wake Forest mixed up there.
Yeah. They're going to be. They should be Delaware. They should be North Carolina. You're talking about 7-5 Wake Forest, better than either of us thought.
Yeah, by far.
By far, like we thought this was going to be by far the worst team in the conference.
Yeah. I added one on at the end here.
Yeah, I see this one. I missed this one completely.
I tricked the notes in. San Diego State beats Fresno State 23-0. The Aztecs are 6-1. They may be the Mountain West favorites right now. And if they hang, obviously they have to deal with Boise. But if they somehow beat Boise State and finish the season with one loss, they could be a sneaky pick there for that group of five. That group of five playoff berth, especially if things go south in the American with how good some of those teams at the top are.
Yeah, if the American cannibalizes itself, you might be seeing someone from the Mountain West go in. And yeah, San Diego State 6-1, man. Like, I think we always felt San Diego State was a bit of a sleeping giant. Yeah. Like, okay, when are they going? They got the new stadium.
Well, and they had some good years there. They had some the Rashad Penny. Some of those running backs that they've had, they've produced some incredible running backs. I mean, you could go all the way back to Marshall Faulk. But it feels like they've always had some good running backs there. They're playing really good defense. I think me and you were both fans of Sean Lewis and what he did at Kent State.
He was great, yeah.
And then he goes and becomes the offensive coordinator at Colorado, then gets demoted, then leaves. Last year wasn't great, but this year San Diego State looks like a very good football team.
Yeah, Donnell Pumphrey was another running back there too. That was awesome. But yeah, San Diego State, kind of like I said, new stadium. I mean, they look real sharp. I feel like this was a team that is just kind of waiting to have their coming out party. And 6-1 right now, a couple more wins, and I mean the national media should start paying attention that hey, the Aztecs have a shot to really make some noise here and possibly crash the playoff party.
It's not out of the realm.
No, it's not. Jay, give us your FCS minute, which is definitely going to be longer than a minute today.
Yeah, we're going to have an extended one today. We start off with last week's game, the Dakota Marker game. North Dakota State demolished South Dakota State. It wasn't close, 38-7. I'm pretty sure North Dakota State had this game in hand at halftime. They are the number one team in the FCS ranks for a reason. Hard to see anybody knocking them off. But let's go ahead and talk about some other games to watch below the FBS level. That's a little hint into what we're going to talk about. We'll start off with the FCS games. Number 2, Tarleton State at number 24, Abilene Christian, 3 p.m. on ESPN Plus. This is going to be a great rivalry matchup. Tarleton State is one of the best FCS teams in the country, obviously with that number 2 ranking. The Texans up against Abilene Christian. Feels like Tarleton State's a little more physical of a team. Abilene Christian has a tendency to air it out. You see that with Maverick McIver, who's now the quarterback at Western Kentucky last year and the season that they had. Just a part of Texas that is super passionate about football. I guess the whole state is, but Really going to be interested to see that one. And then we're sticking with the state of Texas. UT Rio Grande Valley just smashed Incarnate Word last week. And now they travel to number 20, Stephen F. Austin. This should be a fantastic game in the Southland Conference. Both of these teams are 6-2. Again, this is UTRGV in their first year as a program at all. To go 6-2, you beat a program in Prairie View earlier this year that was 6-2. You beat Incarnate Word, who's been so good for so long. Obviously, not as good this year. UTRGV has a chance to really make a statement here. Meanwhile, Stephen F. Austin wants to get back in the FCS playoffs. A big opportunity for them as well. That's going to be on ESPN Plus at 6 p.m. Central Time. And then let's talk a little bit D2 football, Jake. Let's talk a little D2 football.
Let's.
Massive contest in the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, one of the great conferences of Division II. Some would call it the PSAC of the West. That's a little hint into what we're going to talk about a little bit later too. But Colorado State Pueblo, number 7 at number 6 Western Colorado. This is going to be a banger of a game. You got to get the RMAC Digital Sports Network to watch this one. I may do a little splurge there to check this one out. And then in your home state of Pennsylvania, Jake, that PSAC conference that we just talked about, East Stroudsburg at number 4 Kutztown. These are two teams at the top of their division in the PSAC. Should be a fantastic game up there in Kutztown, a most agreeable town. It's a most agreeable town.
Oh, the most agreeable town. Yeah, people from Kutztown, they're just fine. They're just fine. Alumni from Kutztown, they're just okay people.
Most agreeable. Oh man, it's going to be a great game though. So those are a couple of games. We decided not to just stick to the FCS. We're going to talk about a lot of different football because there's a lot of different football that you should watch if you get a chance. You know, if you're somewhere up around one of these places, if you're around Western Colorado or Kutztown, get out, watch a game. Same goes for Abilene Christian. Same goes for Stephen F. Austin. There is lots of football to be played. Find a game near you.
Support your local college football program. Jay, that Kutztown's ranked what, 4th in the country?
4th in the country.
They're undefeated. East Stroudsburg, I believe, is 6-2. I love this game, but I think Kutztown's the real deal. This is a team we're going to be talking about when we do bowl game extravaganza, especially when we get famous Kutztown alumnus Joe Pop on. We're going to be talking about Kutztown in that Division II playoff. This is a very good Golden Bears team.
I was going to try to make it up there for this game, Jake. Just don't have the budget yet, which is again why you should download BattleBets and let them know that we sent you.
Yes, we need money
so that I can go to Kutztown.
Nice. Yes. All right, Week 10. Let's get into some picks here. Jay, I feel like we need to start on tonight.
Yes.
Tonight, actually.
Well, no, tomorrow. Well, tonight, if you're listening to this on the show, if you're watching us live tomorrow night.
Yeah. I forget we do a live show.
Yeah.
So, yes, Tuesday night, James Madison at Texas State. What are you going to watch? There's no other football on. Watch this. James Madison at Texas State. Texas State is a 6-point dog at home. James Madison, Chesney, Coach Chesney, great guy. Like I love what he's doing at James Madison, and I think this is a game you got to watch.
One loss to a pretty solid Louisville team for James Madison. James Madison is very good. Texas State's been a little bit disappointing this year. They've lost a bunch of one-score games that they probably should have won. They're better than their record suggests. I'll put it that way. They're better than the 3-4 record they have. This should be a very fun one, especially on a Tuesday night when there's nothing else to watch. Definitely watch James Madison at Texas State.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, their UTEP is also at Kennesaw State. My Owls, baby. My Owls.
And my Miners.
And the Miners. Two teams that we have always, I mean, we're big UTEP people, but also my new beloved Kennesaw State Owls also playing on Tuesday night. Check it out, ESPNU.
Thursday night, Marshall at Coastal Carolina. Coastal is a 5.5-point dog. 53.5 is the over-under. I'm taking Marshall here.
Give me Coastal at home with the points. I don't know. I don't think they're going to win, but I think Coastal keeps this close at home. Other game Thursday night: Tulane at UTSA. Another 5.5-point dog at home for the home team for the Roadrunners. Over under set at 55.5. I'm going Tulane.
Yeah, I'm going Tulane too. The Roadrunners are struggling mightily right now.
Yeah.
Jeff Traylor looks pretty frustrated in his pressers, talking about the squad. So I like Tulane in this one as well. Friday night, the moon is right. UNC at Syracuse in the Dome. Syracuse is a 1.5-point favorite. 47.5 is the over/under. Man, these are two teams. It's kind of like, what happened? What happened? We had Syracuse with a big win over Clemson. We're like, oh, no, they got something rolling. Everyone was so excited about UNC. Well, everyone that wasn't a college football watcher was excited about Bill Belichick at UNC. And now it's just kind of like it's a random Friday night matchup. I'm staying away from this one, Jake.
Jay, I'm a sick person. Give me in this game of basketball powerhouses. Former for Syracuse. They're not anymore. North Carolina. Give me North Carolina to win in the Dome.
Moving to Saturday.
Give it to me.
Jake, you got the lead here.
Oh, do I have to? This is... I haven't been this dejected going into an Ohio State game in a while. Ohio State is a 20.5-point favorite. Over under set at 43.5. I don't know what the heck's going to happen. I'm fully expecting Ohio State to just curb stomp Penn State. They are going to be fired up because of Jim Knowles leaving. They are going to add that to the fuel of, we're going to show this old man why he should us. He's a traitor. I hate it for the Lions. I really do. But yeah, this is the most dejected I've been. Like, even when Penn State was like sneaky, I'd be like, ooh, we can sneak up on them. But I don't think it's happening. I don't think it's happening in the shoe. Give me the under, though. Give me under 43.5.
Nittany Lions, money line.
Oh, I hate you so much. Someone needs to. Someone's
going to upset Ohio State at some point this year.
Yeah.
Penn State has nothing to lose. The Nittany Lions still have a lot of talent on that roster. Yes, they lose Drew Aller. There's still a lot of talent there in the backfield. Katron Allen, Nick Singleton. Like, this is still a talented team. It feels like this is a perfect time when they have been so uptight for so long. They can cut loose. No expectations. Nittany Lions, money line.
God, I want to clip that, and I really hope I'm playing it Sunday morning. I'm really hoping I'm playing that Sunday morning. Do it for Terry Smith. Do it for the interim. Do it to the hometown guy, Terry Smith, man.
Yeah.
All right. Vandy at Texas. Texas is a 3.5-point favorite at home. Over under set at 46.5. Texas continues, Jay. I like Texas 3.5.
Yeah, Texas is the favorite here. I'm maybe a little bit surprised. Obviously, the offensive struggles are still there. You still worry that this offense isn't going to be able to generate enough points, and it looks like Vanderbilt has a pretty solid defense too. Wonder what's going to happen at quarterback. Is Arch Manning going to play? Is he out? I don't know. We'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. I know who is playing. That's Diego Pavia. I'm taking Vanderbilt.
Ooh. Absolutely love it. We have next up Army at Air Force. Air Force is a 1.5-point dog at home. Early rights to the Commander-in-Chief trophy. Over under set at 49.5. Love a good academy battle. Give me Air Force at home. Give me Air Force. Give me the home team.
Altitude, Jake. Elevation.
Yes. Yes.
That's why I'm going with Air Force here. Army has to travel up to Colorado Springs. I've been there. I've climbed stairs at elevation there. I know how it feels. And yes, we get winded at climbing stairs at sea level, but it's just a little bit extra in the altitude. I like the Falcons to get it
There
done
you go.
here.
Arizona State at Iowa State. Iowa State minus 5.5, over under set of 50.5. Give me Iowa State. Give me Iowa State to cover. They are going to, I think Matt Campbell's going to have the guys ready after that loss to BYU. Give me Iowa State.
Yeah. By the way, big shout out to Houston for beating Arizona State last week. We saw the passing of their strength coach. Our thoughts are with that program. But Arizona State, Iowa State, this is tough, man. You talked about how banged up Iowa State is. It's hard for me to pick them. I think Arizona State's a little bit banged up too. I'm going to think this is going to be a low scoring game. I'm going to take the under at 50.5.
There we go. Navy. This is where game day should be. Navy at North Texas.
Undefeated Navy.
Undefeated Navy. North Texas is a 6.5 point favorite. Over under set at 65.5. Give me the under. Give me the under. And Jay, I'm going to tell you why. Navy is going to run that football, and they are going to shorten this game up. North Texas is not going to be this game isn't going to be as long as people think it's going to be because of Navy running the football. Give me the under 65.5.
Jake, did you forget what happened in that Air Force Navy game where they were just throwing the ball all over the field?
That is true. Yes.
But yeah, I agree with you because North Texas has not been able to stop the run. And I think Navy runs here. North Texas is going to put up a lot of points. I think North Texas gets the win here. I think it's going to be a massive win for this program. But I like the under with you.
Oh, you do like the under. Okay.
I pulled an old okey doke on you.
I was going to say, I was like, he's going to one. I thought he was going one way. And he goes
just when they think they have all the answers, I change the questions. Shout out Roddy Piper.
I was just going to say Roddy Piper. ECU at Temple. Casey Keeler, man, doing great things for those Temple Owls.
The winningest active coach in college football. The winningest
active coach in college football.
Well, at least at the D1 level, right? Was it all football? Because I feel like Duda's got to be up there.
I think they're just counting non-JUCOs.
Okay, fair enough.
I think they're counting non-JUCOs. Yeah.
I mean, talked Lackawanna ball earlier this year.
Yeah. No. It's guys coaching in the FBS. Okay. That's what it is.
So it is FBS.
But Casey Keeler gets to take all of his wins with him because the coach from New Hampshire is still in the FCS. So that's why. Active winningest coach in the FBS. There it is.
Yeah. I guess you have the Monmouth guy too.
Or is that who I'm thinking of?
That's probably the Monmouth guy. Yeah, if it's been there.
I'm thinking. Like I said New Hampshire. Yeah, it's Monmouth. It's the Monmouth guy.
You know what it is? Yankees, all the same.
Yeah, that's terrible, awful.
I had to get in a shot at some point.
I know. You don't take many shots at the North, too.
I don't. You don't. That's because I actually like the cold.
Thank you. What are we talking about? Temple. Temple's good at football.
Casey Keeler good at coaching.
I have no idea what's going to happen in this game. I want to take ECU, but God, you know what? I'm going with my heart. Give me Temple. Give me the Temple Owls, cherry red, baby.
Yep. Hoot hoot. We got another set of Owls. We got the Rice Owls. We got the Temple Owls. We got the Kennesaw State Owls. All of them are good except for Florida Atlantic. I like Temple in this one.
You like Temple? Did you see Navy's graphic where they beat all the Owls? It was like a graveyard of like owls, and they're like beating all the owls, and it's just like Rice, Kennesaw, and FAU all in like a graveyard. It's just like beating all the owl teams. I thought it was, especially coming from like Navy. I thought that was pretty.
Yeah,
that was nice. World's largest outdoor cocktail party. One of the few neutral site games that I will allow.
And this is the last one in Jacksonville for a while, I think.
Where are they moving? Or are they going to go home and home?
They're doing some kind of surgery on the construction on the stadium. I don't know why I called it surgery.
Yeah.
I think they're going to move it to probably, unfortunately, Atlanta, because that's about the only other one I think. Yeah, I know.
That stinks. It needs to be outdoors.
It does.
Outdoor cocktail party.
Literally.
They can't even get that right.
Yeah.
Why do people who not like college football make decisions for college football?
Okay, so the one next year is in Atlanta. Then they go to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, which is at least outdoors. And I think they go back to Jacksonville after that.
Just a year.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't hate that because, let's do one close to Georgia, one close to, I can live with that.
It's temporary.
Was there nowhere else they couldn't have put it anywhere else in Georgia? I mean, who else is there in Georgia?
They could play it at the prettiest little stadium in America.
Georgia State?
That's Georgia Southern. Georgia State plays in the old Brave Stadium.
I was like, really? Is that who we're talking about? All right. Give me the under at 50.5.
Yeah, I like the under here too.
Yeah. Okay.
Texas Tech, Kansas State. Kansas State has bounced back from the Irish curse. They are still 7-point dogs against Texas Tech, though, because this is a very dangerous Texas Tech team who bounced back quickly from their loss to Arizona State. Listen, Kansas State has just looked so good, though. Like, maybe I'm just buying into it. I like Kansas State here.
I do, too. Kansas State +7. I like Kansas State +7 as well. Reversing that Irish curse.
There you go.
Let's go Oklahoma at Tennessee. Tennessee is a 3-point favorite at home against Oklahoma. Over under set at 56.5. I'm leaning Tennessee, but Jay, I don't know.
I don't trust Mateer, but I also don't trust the Tennessee defense. I feel like this is going to be an interesting one. Obviously, there's still some feelings there. Josh Heupel, Brent Venables, very familiar with each other. This is going to be interesting. I think I got to take Tennessee here. I just think that going on the road, Tennessee's going to be fired up for that one. I like the Volunteers.
John Mateer finds his footing. Give me Oklahoma +3.
There we go. USC at Nebraska. The Cornhuskers are 6.5-point dogs at home. 59.5 is the over-under. Nebraska's just so up and down. Like, so up and down.
Yeah.
I feel like, if I was looking at Matt Rule as my potential head coach, I'd be a little bit worried about that. But
that's USC, 2 today.
Yeah.
That's 2 digs you gave me today.
My bad. I'm normally not like this. Something has come over me. USC, listen, their offense is still very good. It's just they have a tendency to have letdowns in games exactly like this. I think I'm going to take Nebraska to cover. I know the game against Minnesota was ugly, and that hasn't left my mind. But I just think that they're going to be better at home. I like the Cornhuskers to cover.
USC wins. I think USC runs the football right down Nebraska's throat. I like USC to cover. USC -6.5 in Nebraska.
Wazoo at Oregon State. This is game 1 of the series, by the way. They will play each other twice this year. They'll meet again during rivalry week. The Beavers and the Cougars +3.5 for Oregon State. They're an underdog. They obviously have an interim coach now. I feel like Washington State has found their footing the last couple of weeks. I mean, just really strong performances. They lose by 1 possession to Ole Miss. This is kind of the opposite of how I saw this series going, where I thought going into the season, Oregon State was going to be far better than Washington State. I think the opposite now. I like Washington State in this one. I think they get the win on the road, and we'll do it again later in the season when they're at home.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that
Um,
one here at the end of the year.
um, so Oregon State, their last loss was to Wake Forest 2 weeks,
39-14.
39-14. They've had a long bye. Give me Oregon State plus the 3.5. Hang on. I know it's dumb. It sounds so stupid. But listen, everything tells me Wazoo. Okay? Everything. They just looked better. Oregon State's bad. But Jay, their coach just got fired. And they had a bye week. I think this is the coach just got fired game. Give me Oregon State plus 3.5 in a our coach just got fired game. I know
Okay,
it's so
I
stupid.
guess
It's stupid.
whatever.
It's stupid.
A late night kickoff is the location of game day this week. God, if enough people download Battle Bets so that I can have money to travel to these games, I would be going to this Cincy Utah game because Salt
Oh my
Lake City at 10:15 Eastern, 9:15 Central, 8:15 God's time zone, aka the Mountain time zone. Listen, this is going to be a fantastic game, a physical contest. I feel like Sorsby, while we have been talking about him, has flown under the radar. He should be a Heisman contender. He absolutely should.
100%
I
should.
don't understand why more people aren't talking about Sorsby, the quarterback for Cincinnati. His stats are great. Look it up. At Utah, we don't know what the situation is with Devin Dampier with his injury. Interesting to keep an eye on that. 9.5 feels like a lot
That's a lot.
when the Cincinnati team has been rolling like they have been.
Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people are thinking about that because Utah just absolutely destroyed Colorado last week, like absolutely destroyed them. So I think they're looking at this like, hey, Cincy is winning games, they're not winning them pretty.
They don't
Okay,
they don't run away from teams,
no,
but it feels like they get up to hot starts and just kind of let teams hang around.
mm-hmm.
And it's just like almost like they're playing with their food a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
They can't do that again, but I do think
No,
since he makes this a game, I like him to cover
mm-hmm.
at the very least. Sorsby, again, one of the best players in college football. Check this game out. Should be a fun one.
We don't have the over-under here. What is the over-under? 56.5. Give me the under. 56.5. Give me the under. I think that's the play.
Should be a physical game because since he has
Yes.
been very physical this year, Utah, that's their whole identity. I love a good rock fight.
Yeah, and I think that's huge for Satterfield and Cincinnati that they found that identity of a team that had absolutely none, and who I thought was going to be one of the first coaches fired.
We had Satterfield on the hot seat.
Satterfield was on the hot seat, but what they're doing and finding that rough and tough identity, I think, is huge for Cincinnati. Getting back to how Cincinnati used to be back in the Big East days.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's wild.
It is. Jay,
the Big East. I mean, think about it.
Remember the Big East? Remember the Big East, Jay?
Big East football. That's crazy.
Big East football.
Wild.
Listen, Penn State could have been a part of it. Back in the day, they could have been a part of it.
What tangled webs we weave, Jake.
What could have been? Thank Pitt and Syracuse. So now there is no Big East. You played yourselves. Anyway, don't get me fired up about those two. Jay, land the plane, please.
Let's land this plane, folks. We appreciate all of the support that you give us. Thank you to each and every one of you who tune in and listen. Help us do all the things that help us grow as a podcast. Again, share with a friend. Word of mouth is still the best advertising you can get. Download Battle Bets. Let them know we sent you. Give us those 5-star reviews. Like, subscribe, share. We appreciate talking football with y'all each week, and cannot wait to meet right back here after next week and talk a little bit more football. Enjoy the season while it lasts.
From all of us at the Get Back Coach, have a great week.